So President Obama is back, and he's gaslighting the left. Take a look. While speaking at a town hall in Berlin, Germany on Saturday, former President Barack Obama addressed divisions within the Democratic Party and outlined his concerns about the fiercely partisan political climate. Quote, "One of the things I do worry about sometimes among progressives in the United States, maybe it's true here as well, is a certain kind of rigidity where we say, oh, I'm sorry, this is how it's going to be," Obama said at the town hall organized by the Obama Foundation. And then we start sometimes creating what's called a circular firing squad when you start shooting at your allies because one of them is straying from purity on the issues, he continued. When that happens, typically the overall effort and movement weakens. So I think you have to recognize that the way we've structured democracy requires you to take into account people who don't agree with you. You know, that is so telling because it was, 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago? Something like that? When we learned that the DCCC has decided every group which helps primary an established Democrat is excommunicated and cut off. So anybody who's coming up from the left and is saying, hey, I think we should make the party more progressive, they are done for. They have been financially, I was going to say amputated, but that seems like a weird word to use in this context. Financially hobbled, crippled. I like that better. They've been financially crippled. And, you know, this is Justice Democrats has been flipping out about this. Ro Khanna has, made this one of his core issues now, and he's tweeting about it on a regular basis and saying, this is insane, this is how I won, this is how Ilhan Omar and AOC won. And by the way, you know who else won this way? In 2000, Barack Obama knocked off established, centrist establishment Democrat Bobby Rush. So the context he's using this in is not to say, come on now, establishment, play nice with the lefties. It's their day, they're coming up. What's your problem? No, he's using this to say, whoa, lefties, don't go too hard on the center. So, in other words, these pleas for unity and, hey, chill out, they only go one direction. They only go one way. And the way it goes is, hey, left, chill the fuck out. He's never said, hey, establishment, centrists, stop trying to always undermine the left. He's never said that. Why? Because he's in their camp. He agrees with them. And see, this is I don't even think I'd be doing this segment if Obama came as advertised and he said, you know what? Here's the deal, man. My philosophy, my ideology, it's more centrist. It's more corporatist. It's more pro-establishment. That's where I fall. And so I'm going to rep that ideology. And what I'm going to say is, here's why I believe in these things. Here's why this is my flavor of democratic politics. And here's why I'm against the further left camp. But he doesn't say that. He feigns like I'm the most progressive possible option. I was the last Democratic president, and I'm as far left as you can go. I'm the left fringe of that Overton window. So aren't I Mr. Progressive? And then, as he pretends to do that, he undercuts and undermines and hurts the actual left. That's why I'm mad about this, because he's gaslighting. If he just said, no, I'm more moderate, and I'm going to rep that ideology, okay, fair enough, then let you and I go back and forth on the actual policy substance, and then fine. People can make up their own mind. You're more moderate, I'm going to represent the left, let's have that discussion. But he doesn't do that. He doesn't come as advertised. He's gaslighting. Oh, I'm Mr. Progressive, and the circular firing squads from the left. You mean the so-called circular firing squads, which just made the left stronger because primaries tend to make the party stronger because you get the better candidates elected who are then more likely to win in the next election? So it's a bad thing that now Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has the strongest Twitter presence and social media presence of any elected congressperson? That's a bad thing? That made the party weaker, not stronger? No. It made the party stronger. You just don't agree. You just don't agree with our politics, and you can't say it because you have the perception of, I'm Mr. Progressive, except you're not. You're gaslighting the left, and that's what's infuriating about this. He's not being honest. He's not being upfront. And I've never, ever, 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 ever heard these people say, oh, establishment, why are you doing circular firing squads on the left? It was a month ago they said we're going to primary Ilhan Omar. That's what the establishment Democrats said. That's what the corporate Democrats said. Did Barack Obama come out then and say, whoa, 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 with the circular firing squad? She just won. It was a historic candidacy. Her and Rashida Tlaib, the first Muslim women elected to Congress, and you're going to go for them? And again, by the way, this shows how cynical their weaponization of identity politics is. Did the Democratic establishment go, all right, like with the believe all women? Oh, shit, now people are accusing Joe Biden of stuff? Well, in this case, I think it's a little bit different. I think that maybe we should give him some leeway. Well, what happened to believe all women? What happened to don't do the circular firing squads when they were just saying they wanted Ilhan Omar to go down? Where were you then, Obama? Where were you then? Where were you? You were nowhere to be found because you agree with going after them because you don't ideologically align with them. Be fucking honest about it. Be honest. See, the difference between the left and the centrists in this democratic civil war is that the left is honest enough to say, yeah, there's a democratic civil war, and I'm representing the left-hand side of it. Whereas the centrists go, there's no democratic civil war, unity is wonderful, we all get along. Anyway, undermine Ilhan Omar, kneecap Justice Democrats, kneecap our revolution, fight against them come hell or high water, raise big money from individuals. Story just came out today. They're saying, at the same time, they just said, oh, we need to unify and we're going to cut off all the left-wing groups. The DCCC is still working with groups who are primarying Democrats from the right. Stop and think about that. Oh, we're going to cut off all financial assistance and aid to left-wing groups that primary. But if you want to primary an establishment Democrat from the right and be further right-wing and more corporatist, we're fine doing business with you. Don't you ever, ever, ever tell me about unity again. You want unity? Bend the knee. Do what we want. And by the way, we're not just saying that as a power move. This isn't just like, oh, we're going to be authoritarian and make you do our bidding. No, we are saying we are here to represent the will of the people according to the polling data. We know that the people are on our side. So you're not bending your knee to us. You're bending your knee to the American people in what's supposed to be a representative democracy. So you want unity? Okay, let's unify behind the most popular politician in America, who's the front runner right now. I can't fucking hear you. I can't hear you. Weird. I thought you were all about unity. No, you're not. You're engaging in the democratic civil war while pretending there is no civil war, and you're gaslighting. And that alone shows how dishonest you are. I would have a lot more respect for all these people if they would at least come out and say, yeah, there's a split on the left, and we're representing the centrist, the corporatist, the right of the Democratic Party. If you just came out and said it, fine, and we can have an honest discussion, but you don't do that. All these slimy, sleazy, gross tricks and cynically weaponizing identity politics and using convenient, hypocritical arguments when they suit your purposes. It's fucking gross, man. It's gross. What I would say to you is grow up and be honest and engage on the merit of the policies where we have our disagreements. But here's the thing. They really can't do that because they know they'll lose the argument. How are they going to win the Medicare for All debate when 70% of the country is with us? And they want to go out there, let's do another mealy-mouthed, middle-ground nonsense policy that'll have a 48% approval rating like a public option. They can't win that argument. So what do? They just fucking burn the whole place down. No lefties allowed. No primarying from the left. None. Cut off their financial aid. I can already sense it happening again. They're going to try to kneecap the left, tank the left, and then if they lose the election again, they'll turn around and blame the left, just like they did last time. They fucking rigged the primary against Bernie. The WikiLeaks leaks proved it. They showed it. Fucking Hillary getting questions in advance? I mean, this is what we're talking about? And then when Hillary loses the election, they have the nerve to turn and go, they're fucking Bernie supporters. We were telling you the solution all along. We were telling you that Bernie's up in the polls against Trump and he would destroy Trump because he's more anti-establishment and he's more populist and he kneecaps all the areas where Trump is getting his snake oil message through. We warned you. We're the solution, and now you turn around and blame us like we're the problem, and it's going to happen again. I'm sensing it again. Sensing it again. They do every dirty trick in the book, and then you fight back a smidgen, and they cry foul. The left has come after us. It's so unfair. You were doing every dirty trick in the book possible. Every one. And then we fight back, honestly, and they, cry foul. It's like back in the day in wrestling. It was Rowdy Roddy Piper. I think he would hit somebody with a chair, and then they turn around and fight back, and he would drop the chair and be like, like he's the victim. Bitch, you just hit him in the back with a chair when he wasn't even looking. Like, what the fuck? Okay, I can't stand it. There's so much disingenuous bullshit in politics, and this is what makes my blood boil.